The captain of the visitors, Scott Page, returns to the front line after missing action with a shoulder injury. Fallen comrades include 16-year-old Jason Spezza, but there are other troops answering the call to arms. Top prospect Lou Dickinson. Today, he and his Mississauga Ice Dog teammates hit the road to Brampton as the chant goes up for the battalion's #1 player. Raffi Torres is generally acknowledged as the best in Ontario. They've got their orders. The battle plan is set. Mississauga and Brampton, CHL Sunday. $5,000-seat Brampton Centre for Sport and Entertainment. 5,000 seats. They've also got a 250-seat restaurant. They've got 4 NHL-size ice surfaces here, and they've got some 20 private boxes. And if that's not entertaining enough, hopefully the hockey will be. It's Mississauga and Brampton. Hi, everybody. I'm Lance Brown, welcoming you to the CHL Sunday. Two teams which have gone in completely different directions almost from day one. Brampton decided to keep their staff the same and go with youth. Mississauga seems to change, or at least they have, in the past year and a half, almost 2 years, every day. If it's not a coaching change, it's player changes. Maybe they're getting things sorted out, but Brampton is far ahead of them in terms of the 3-year plan that Coach Stan Butler has for the battalion. Back at the Centre for Sports and Entertainment in Brampton. We get a chance to chat with players on both sides, Brampton and Mississauga, and I know that they're very excited because it's a televised game, and we're delighted to bring it to you. These are two rivals. They both entered the OHL at the same time, and here's our Coho in the nets, brought to you by Coho, the brand of goaltender equipment used by Patrick Waugh. And there is the visiting goaltender, Nick Foley, out of Belleville, Ontario. And for the hosts, out of Whitby, Ontario, David Chant, the OHL player of week number 3. And we are underway. Aaron Van Loozen, one of the fastest skaters in the Ontario League, is number 21 Brampton, 21 White, if you will. Jason Goldenberg checking in there for Mississauga, and Rusty Rodislav Klesla is number 7. As one of the Ice Dogs fell down behind the play, it rolls in front, Klesla shoots, score! Well, that took 50 seconds.
Good job by Klesla following up the play. Michael Mole, Mississauga's goaltender, has all kinds of trouble trying to recover off the backboards. And like a fish out of water, he is not able to get up. And Rodislav Klesla with the easy wrist shot upstairs for their early 1-0 lead.
Torres, so it's two of the best centers head-to-head. Here comes Torres in across the line. Drops it, gets the return pass, centers it in front, and a shot goes wide, rebound. Pulls down again.
And he hopes to come up with another big one this afternoon.
And Ifadi rifles it in, and it bounced strangely off the boards. It may have been fortuitous that Chant was playing at home, because he's probably seen a bounce like that once or twice before in practice, but he had to scurry to get back. It was on its way in.
Just a quick dump in. That's the things that Mississauga want to do early, is get the puck in deep and not make sure they get caught on odd man rushes.
Feeds it across to Torres. Abel gets it again. McClement to Torres. Lots of time to set up. There's Torres in front with a shot. Loose puck. Score!
Going hard to the net pays off again for the Brampton Battalion. Good movement between Lucas Havel and Raffi Torres there to pick up his initial shot. Nick Foley doing a good job and doesn't have time to recover. And Raffi Torres gets his 38th goal of the season for a 2-0 Brampton lead.
Grenier is in there, and Ketchison on the boards. Dickinson, if he goes, it's 3-on-1, and he does with Wiseman. Across to McGrattan to Dickinson! Oh, how did that stay out? Back to the point, Ketchison shoots way wide, high and wide. Van Loozen was parked right out there. Again, Aaron Van Loozen, one of the best skaters in the Ontario League, if not in all of Canada. And there's a shot by Aaron Van Loozen. Rebound is free, McSwain. Oh, I believe the save was made there by Foley. Still loose. 3 or 4 great opportunities to make it 3-0. Well, Mississauga's coming on just a little bit here offensively.
Starting to get their legs moving a little bit here.
Rowan, nice move around Coughlin. Wide open net, and they score! Now, Matt Grenier was in there, but Rowan made that all possible with a nice move around the goal. Foley committed himself to that side and couldn't get back in time.
What a great job by Chris Rowan. Picks up a loose puck, and off to the races he goes, and he always keeps his feet moving, shows a lot of poise here, and waits for Grenier to establish his position in front of the net for the easy one-timer into the open net.
Beautiful setup by Chris Rowan, and a nice tap for the goal by Matt Grenier. It's on goal would as well. But we'll see what Mr. Page can do. That's Scott Page leveled at center ice by Maleko. There's your answer. Woods is in there. And I'm not surprised at all that they're getting a little bit testy. It's early in this game. And, he has done real well. Stan Butler was saying, you know, people have given up on him once or twice. And that has become a mistake. Van Loozen feeds it in front, and there's Torres! Scores!
Rafi Torres has been all over this first period. It seems if anyone's had the puck, it's Rafi Torres. Does a great job jumping in the open lane. And Kearns might have been there to help it over the line. But it was definitely Rafi Torres making the play. And once again, Brampton going hard to the net and being rewarded for it.
Oh, it is. It's Rafi Torres who gets credit for the goal. The second of this game and 39th of the season. So Torres has 2, and the Brampton Battalion have 4. Mississauga has yet to score after 1 period of play. Midgets, 6'4" and 190 pounds. Good size. Here's a 2-on-1. McGrattan will shoot. Chance way out. Wiseman was with him. But Brian McGrattan either didn't see him or just decided he would make sure he got the shot on goal. But David Chant was well out to cut that down. Manager, so, you know, they suggested that the Cherries, or Don at least, have interfered somewhat. And I know that he... Oh, there's a goal finally for the Mississauga Ice Dogs, and Fraser Clare puts it in. Well, that'll make him smile.
Oh, one of the few times we saw Mississauga get the puck towards the net and having guys driving to the net. Omar and Afadi doing a good job getting the puck towards the net. And Fraser Clare there with a 15-foot backhand, beating Chant between the legs.
Well, if you go by shots on goal, then Mississauga has improved its play, certainly in this second period. To the line, stops. No way to set up because there's nobody there. There's Page. Remember, he got the 10-minute misconduct. And Jason Goldenberg went flying. He had Klesla lined up, got a piece of him, and he went airborne. McGrattan, hand check. McGrattan gives hand check the two-hander. That'll be a slash. Boy, Page steps on the ice, Nick, and things heat up immediately, don't they? Well, and they had been playing better, too. That's the shame of it, is that the Ice Dogs were beginning to play a little bit better. And
it's a pretty vicious slash here.
Yeah.
He comes down pretty hard on and Chuck.
Players coming the other way. Let's watch Van Loosen's speed. We talked about how fast he can skate. Beats his man around the net. Drops it back for Bateman. Bateman to Van Loosen, and Foley was equal to that. Woods shoots. Nice pad save by Nick Foley out of this end. They don't have a lot of speed, and they don't make a lot of room in the opposing team's end.
And you're forced to make that one difficult pass.
Oh, Van Loosen scores! Well, we talked about how fast Aaron Van Loosen was, and as Nick was speaking there, he was going in on Marcus Smith. I was thinking, you know...
And there's that one difficult pass that you can't convert on the power play, gets broken up.
Well, that's a pretty goal.
And Van Loosen, with his speed, ends up finishing off the play.
Boy, he sure made Smith look bad there. Beautiful goal, but you'd hate to be the defender on that one. A shorthanded goal for the Brampton Battalion. It's 5-1, and they've got 19 seconds left to penalty kill.
Move. It's really going to come down to who can stay healthy for that.
Smith with Goldenberg, and catches and Goldenberg. Oh, just getting a skate on it and getting back into position was David Chant. Chant with his first big save of the third period keeps the score. 5-1.
Quest to make some noise in the playoffs.
Chris Rowan stays out there along with Grenier, who chases his man down and comes away with a puck he didn't know he had it. Shot in by John Jerem, and here we go. It's Flatch and Scott Page. Well, we said that they had some of the big boys out there, did Mississauga, and it doesn't surprise me that Scott Page was left out. And he's going with Flatch, and Flatch is 6'5", 195 pounds. Page is no slouch. He's 6'2", 205. We said that it had been a rough day for Scott Page anyway, and late in the game when you send him out there after he's had a tough go.
And he sure appreciates the fans here in Brampton.
He sure does. You're number one, he's saying, in a manner of speaking. And we have our 3 stars all set for you. Our 3 stars are brought to you by Best Western. Canadian hockey's home away from home. Aaron Van Loosen, who scored that pretty goal, was the play of the game offensively for Brampton. Rafi Torres, who had a real strong first half of this game. And I wouldn't say he coasted, but I don't think there was the need to push from that point on. And Rostislav Klesla, who has seen an enormous amount of ice time once again. A solid defenseman is the number 3 star. He had 1 goal.
Stan Butler talked about the speed of Van Loosen, and he was quoted as saying, the fastest player he's ever seen at this level. Quite a compliment, and certainly something that the NHL scouts will be looking very closely at.
Well, that winds up the second of the 2 meetings this weekend for the Brampton Battalion and the Mississauga Ice Dogs. And unlike the first one, this one wasn't close. And the best we can say, I suppose, for Mississauga is that they're glad this is over, because they've had to make do without Jason Spezza, and that's been difficult, and they're struggling just to finish the season. They've had coaching changes. It has not been a great year for Mississauga, but it is going to be a more interesting year for Brampton as they continue on towards the playoffs.